Good evening, this is Jim Williams with the Hurricane City Tropical Update for June 15th around 8 p.m. Well, we were waiting for the National Hurricane Center to upgrade invest91 to Tropical Storm Bill, but they have decided to hold off on that. Probably later on this evening this will be upgraded, and then the cone of air will be available and all the statistical information on this system as it moves towards land. But whatever happens with this system is going to be a heavy rainmaker for Texas, all up into Oklahoma, and then it's going to turn northeast and maintain its low-level identity pretty well and dump a lot of rain along its journey. So this will be a unfolding story over the next several days. But it is looking rather well organized this evening on the NASA enhanced satellite image. You can see the banding around the center. There's strong thunderstorms popping near the center. Yesterday the system was lopsided. All the rain was off to the northeast of the center. Now it's consolidating rather nicely. The Hurricane Hunter's been flying around out there. Here is our Hurricane Hunter page at Hurricane City, and if you click on the plane, it allows you to see the data and buoy not the buoy, but the data information from the Hurricane Hunters flying around out there right now. Now, they are finding some winds sustained around 50 miles per hour at the surface, so we definitely have winds strong enough for this to be classified as a tropical storm. Now, when you click on this, it's mainly data in the form of text, which does not show up good on the update video. So I'm going to show you an image of the Hurricane Hunter's path here. This was from a short time ago, and the purple areas where my mouse is pointing are winds right around 50 miles per hour, and then when you get to the southwest quadrant of our system, the winds are right around 30 miles per hour. But we do have southwest winds and then southeast winds on the right side of the center of circulation. So we definitely have a fully tropical system with a low-level circulation. It's just a matter of the National Hurricane Center going ahead and classifying this, which I'm pretty sure they're going to do as this is getting better organized by the minute. But the Hurricane Hunters have been flying around. In fact, if we go back to that map, at one time today there was 3 planes on this map. One was heading down to investigate Carlos in the Pacific, and then on the way back it flew through invest91. And then there's the one that's out there now that was leaving, and then we had a training flight for the NOAA aircraft, which was also out there, the NOAA WP-3D NOAA aircraft was out there as well. So at one time there were 3 on the map. Again, you click on these at any time and it gives you all the detailed information. So you might ask, well, which model is performing the best on this system so far? And looking back at all the data over the last 48 hours, the H-Wharf is the best performing model so far on this system. And it takes it, as you can see on this map, right near the current feature at Hurricane City, which is Matagorda, Texas. I'll get to more of that in just a minute. But this is mainly coming into the Port O'Connor area, just north of Corpus Christi, Texas. But at any rate, it's really irrelevant where the center of this comes ashore because there's such a wide-ranging mass of rain that's going to be moving in from Galveston areas, even up at Port Arthur are going to be feeling some heavy rains from this. Freeport, Texas, down into, as I stated, Matagorda and Port O'Connor, Corpus Christi are going to get a lot of rain out of this. But the track is pretty consistent, and the H-Wharf is the best performer. Now, if you ask about intensity, the H-Wharf is also the best on intensity. And the H-Wharf is predicting that this is going to get up to 45 knots at landfall, which is quite possible. And it's the highest of all the models out there for intensity. Mainly the models are indicating this is going to be at landfall maybe a 35, 40 mile an hour system, and then it'll weaken, of course, as it moves inland. And then there's a little bit of a comeback at day 5 and 6. As this is moving over the northeastern United States, it might ramp up to around 30 miles an hour. It's going to maintain its identity pretty well over land. Also wanted to show you my predictions. Now, number 5 this year on my top 20 was this area that's going to be impacted tomorrow, and that's Port O'Connor to Matagorda, Texas. And the reason I picked this area as number 5 is it's one of the areas that gets hit more frequently when there's seasons of 6 to 8 named storms going back to the 1940s. And it's on my map. I keep a map of areas that get hit when there's less than 8 named storms, and this is one of the hot spots for slow hurricane seasons. It's statistically due for a named storm, and that's it only happened a few times since the 1950s, so it's not uncommon for this area. It's not common for this area to be overdue. The area is also statistically overdue for a hurricane in 2015, and this was my #1 pick last year as well. The only reason it was not #1 again this year is because there was additional criteria that I added to my predictions, and it did not match the Matagorda area. But I also indicated in my seasonal prediction video that it was going to happen early in the season, that this area was going to be impacted either by a hurricane or a tropical storm, and that's what's happening right now. So it's pretty interesting. Check out the rest of my predictions, hurricanecity.com/predictions, or you can simply click on the Jim City predictions below the tracking map and get all the details of why I picked these certain areas to be impacted. Now, if we go to the main map at Hurricane City, it shows the best performing models, and if we zoom in on these best performing models, the red these are based on 24-hour periods of performance, and the best performer in a 24-hour period has been the NAM2 model, and that has it right near our current feature, which is Matagorda, Texas. Now, if you click on Matagorda, Texas, it gives you all the area's information localized. Here's, for example, a beach cam from Matagorda, Texas. It's starting to get dark out there, but you can see that there's a lot of wave action on the pier coming into Matagorda Beach, and it's going to get worse over the next 24 hours. And all the news is leading with the story about what will be Tropical Storm Bill. The Twitter feeds are very active. We have a lot of people tweeting about the latest from Texas. People are preparing, getting ready. There's already some low-lying flooding going on there right now, and it hasn't even gotten close to the coast yet. So things should pick up tomorrow at high tide. We'll give people some fits here tomorrow. Also, we're going to be seeing about 5 to 8 inches of rain. That's the forecast from the National Weather Service, and this could end up being higher. We'll have to see what happens with that. But a lot of interesting stuff in the Twitter feeds at Hurricane City. And that can be found by clicking on our current feature, Matagorda, Texas. Well, that's it for now as we return to our enhanced satellite image of what will be Tropical Storm Bill. Everybody in Texas, be careful, especially tomorrow evening or tomorrow afternoon is when another high tide is going to come around. Actually, tomorrow night when this is supposed to make landfall, it will be low tide, so that is a bit of good news for a tidal situation, but there's still going to be copious amounts of rainfall, so everybody needs to be aware of that. Well, that's it for now. There won't be any more updates on this system. It will end up probably being classified, and then the countdown clock will be activated at Hurricane City. So come back and check that out. That's it for now. Thank you again for visiting Hurricane City.